Hey guys, so this video is nothing special. It's just me showing off myself playing Game Boy Advance games with a PlayStation 3 controller of all things. To be honest, it feels completely different from playing with a keyboard or something. But I'm just gonna show off some gameplay. So let's get started. Hold on. Let's decrease this. Hold on. All right, that should be good. Alright, there we go. Good. Alright, so the game you're seeing on screen is Shining Force and the Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. It's a really good game. It's actually a remake of Shining Force, which came out on the Sega Genesis, I believe, back in the early or late 90s. I mean, not... Yeah, the early or mid-90s, possibly. Because this was one of the two games that brought Sega into the RPG genre. One of their first games that got them into the whole RPG thing was Phantasy Star. Um, it's more like a a sci-fi based turn-based RPG. If you're into, oh jeez, you just got killed by a healer, man. That is sad. You just got killed by a healer, dude, man. Anyways, what was I about? I forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah, but if you're into like sci-fi based RPGs, I suggest you play a Shin Megami Tensei game or Phantasy Star 2 or better yet, maybe you should try out the remake of Phantasy Star 2. Or I think there is a remake of that game. I don't know. I might be talking about the wrong remake. Wow. But let's talk about this dude that got level 2. Well, let's talk about this dude that got killed by a healer. That is beyond embarrassing, man. So yeah, this video is just gonna be random commentary, anything that comes to mind. So, it took me like an hour just to get the hang of trying to get the whole thing connected. There is an option on your PC to connect game controllers through the USB ports. It basically like configures it or well, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, like configures it for you or calibrates the thing. It's pretty. I guess you could say that the way I did it was pretty complex, but I had to like download these two programs and then like had to do all this crazy stuff. Yeah, it's not that complex, but it still worked. Not only that, but I'm also going to be doing the rest of my Let's Plays with any of my emulated Let's Plays with the PS3 controller. Mainly because in my other Let's Plays, such as what's a good example? Oh yeah, and if you saw me play Double Survivor 1, you could actually hear me mashing the keys on my keyboard. Wow, there's really happy music after after that intense battle. Hold on. Oh god. There we go. Or you know what, I'll just keep it here. Whatever. Okay. So yeah. Now the thing is that I love the tactical RPG genre. Mainly because of the depth of strategy that goes into placing your units and deciding who should attack with what weapon or what spell. Now, especially with RPGs that have permadeath. Fire Emblem is the most obvious example. It's the usual suspect when it comes to games with permadeath. A game that gets overlooked when it comes to permadeath is Zombie U, which came out for the Wii U. I forgot how many years ago, but I think it had to be a game that came out in the early years of its lifespan. Basically, if any one of your characters gets killed while in the game, then then they can't be revived ever. I don't know if this is I don't know if I could call this permadeath, but the choices you make in Heavy Rain could probably that gets a main playable character killed, obviously. But the choices you make that get a playable character killed could probably be considered permadeath. I don't know. That's debatable. I don't know. I guess I'll leave that up to debate. Maybe. However, it also alters the ending as well. Oh, what am I doing? So, for those who are curious about my button layouts, I'll show you. Hold on. Alright. So, here's my button layout for my PlayStation 3 controller. If I can get the joypad, there we go. Configure. There we go. So up, down, left, right are obviously the. There we go. So up, down, left, right are obviously the 4 D-pad buttons here. The A button is the X button that I'm using. The B button is the circle button, which feels like it makes sense if you're someone that plays. I mean, if you're someone that plays on a console like the PlayStation or 360. What else is it? Oh yeah, the L and R buttons, they're the L1 and R1 buttons, but for some odd reason, the emulator has them listed as L2 and R2. The select button, I use the actual select button for the select button. I don't know why it's listed as start, and the start button is used as the start button on the PlayStation 3 controller. If I want to increase the speed, I'll just hit the L3 button, which basically you just mash down, well not mash down, but you just push the analog stick, and yeah, there you go. There we go. So yeah, but wow, it really changes the way I feel. I mean, not feel. It really just changes the way, dramatically how I play. Like, I'm used to playing on a keyboard when it comes to emulators, but this actually feels nice. And if I can move my cursor out of there. Oh, jeez. But, wow, especially when I play Fire Emblem on here, like, it just feels. All the games I play with a PlayStation 3 controller on a Game Boy Advance emulator, they all feel so different. Like I'm playing on a home console or something. I can only imagine what it's like to play DS games with a PlayStation 3. Oh my god. Oh no, I should have had him attack this dude. Attack this dude. I can't speak. It doesn't matter. He's going to die anyways. Alright, 5 damage. But the speed increase button comes really handy. Comes in handy for when you're playing a game like Fire Emblem 7 or the Sacred Stones. If you don't want to watch all the move animations that just drag on and on and on. Thankfully you do have the option to turn off the animations. Like there are times where it does and just doesn't fit, especially the healing animations too. I mean, like goodness. Thankfully, the healing animations are quick and fluent in future games. Alright. But yeah, I guess it's a blessing that you guys finally don't have to hear me like mash on my keyboard when I'm doing Let's Plays. The most you'll hear from me using my PlayStation 3 controller on emulators is probably just me hitting a button too hard or something. Not that bad. Oh no, wrong button, okay. So our objective is to go and... oh god. Okay, so I guess I'll start listing off some fun facts about Shining Force. Shining Force... It actually had like... Alright, so Shining Force released on the Sega Genesis, it actually had some issues with translation. And when the remake was released on the Game Boy Advance, many fans had like trouble understanding the story, mainly because of translation issues. And I can sort of understand why the game had translation issues because translating games isn't as easy. Like if you played a game that was ported from Japan or was translated by someone online, you'll notice a few grammatical errors, but every now and then you'll probably notice some English. Oh man, it's so hilarious. A very famous example of English in video games would have to be the side-scrolling shooter. What was it called? Zeroing. I think it came out on the SNES. It's actually a pretty good side-scrolling shooter. You should give it a try. But Zero Wing also coined the infamous "all your base are belong to us" phrase. And for some odd reason, people didn't like didn't like the game because of the translation, but really, dude, hating a game because it was mistranslated badly? Come on, man. Thankfully, some people didn't like it. There were people that liked the game for some gameplay, which was nothing new or nothing different. Typical side-scrolling shooter. But I had my fun with it. Okay, what's this guy planning? As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to test this out on a DS emulator. I wonder what it's like to play. I wonder what it'd be like to play Pokemon Black and White on with a PlayStation. Oh, whoa! Almost dropped my controller. But yeah, I wonder what it'd be like to play Pokemon Black and White on a PlayStation 3 controller. Oh man. All right. Let's see how this. Hold on. Let me try something here. I guess that's. Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, it probably looks better like that. Alright, so let's see how this fight goes. So, in preparation for final... Ooh! Nice. Alright. Hold on, let me get something real quick. Okay. Are we recording? Alright, we're good. Okay, just wanted to get something. So, yeah, in preparation for Final Fantasy 15 coming out, I've been playing the crap out of most of my Final Fantasy... Hold on. There we go. Yeah, that's my wallpaper. Okay. There we go. I guess that's how far I can maximize it. So yeah, in preparation for the for Final Fantasy 15, I've been playing the crap out of most of my Final Fantasy games in my collection. I've been playing... Uh-oh. Almost dropped it. So yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy 3, which, oh my goodness... the beginning of an RPG has never made me grind so much. I mean, like, goodness, man. Especially when I get those early characters. But not only that, but the job system... Oh god, hold on. But the job system in Final Fantasy 3 on the DS could have used some work. All in all, it's still a good game. Fun fact, I was actually about to get Final Fantasy 4, but someone else got it way before... Well, not way before me, but... Like, before I ever got to the store, I saw it was missing. I'm like, oh, man. Mainly because it's one of my favorite Final Fantasy games of all time. So, I've also been playing much of Final Fantasy X. I have not touched X2, mainly because I have not played it, and I don't want to ruin the story for myself, because, you know. But, yeah. And you guys are going to... I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this, but I've also been playing much of... the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13, oh my goodness. If I have to spend about 20 or 30 minutes in the 20 or 30 of my game time reading about the lore and stuff, just trying to get a grasp of the story, you know your story's convoluted. I'm looking at you, BioShock Infinite, because I actually had to go on YouTube just to look up the ending. But, yeah, the story is just needlessly convoluted. Like, oh my goodness, man. I couldn't even get a grip on what was going on. Then we have Final Fantasy 13-2, which further confused me because, you know, they introduced time travel for reasons. I don't know why. And then Final Fantasy Lightning Returns, it was okay. It was an okay game, but it could have been better. Like... Now we have, like, real life, well, not real life, but we have some deities thrown in there, and it's the end of the world. 13 days. Yeah, 13 days for the end of the world. But yeah, I've been playing all those games, including Lightning Returns, in preparation for Final Fantasy 15. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. Now, I've also been playing on Final Fantasy... I've also been playing emulators of, ROMs of Final Fantasy 1 and 2, and 4 and 5 and 6. I'd have to say my favorite remakes on the Game Boy Advance would have to be Final Fantasy 4 and actually no, it's not a remake. I think it's a port. But my favorite Final Fantasy games that were ported to the Game Boy Advance would have to be Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 6. Yeah. Oh no, they're great games. It's just that Oh god. It's just that Final Fantasy 13 needed some work done. It's not that bad, and I actually fell in love with some of the cast of characters. Hold on, what else was I about to say? Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Nice. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Goodness, man, Luke just got whacked with that axe, man. Does he have any not spells? Hold on. Does he have any items? Oh man! Oh no! I lost the medicinal. I mean, I didn't lose it, but I don't have the medicinal herb on me. I forgot to give it to Luke. Wow. Okay. I forgot what I was about to say. Nice. Whatever. We're doing this in one take only, okay? We're doing this in one take. Okay. Yeah, this is... Wow. Hold on. I can understand getting knocked out by a mage, but getting knocked out by a healer, that just means you're straight up trash, dude. Like, there's no other way to put it. Then he disappears off screen, never to be seen again. Oh, a critical, or a super attack, as the game likes to call it. One thing I noticed about this game is that they toned down some of the visual effects, and for a good reason. If you in the Genesis version of Shining Force, if you used a spell called Blaze, the screen would start flashing red and black, and if you stared at it, well, if anyone with epilepsy stared at it, then obviously they'd go into an epileptic seizure. So I'm glad they toned down the visual effects. I don't have seizures or anything, but nice that they took into consideration how some epileptics would react to it. Oh man, but Electric Soldier Porygon, oh my goodness, man. That would... oh man. That episode right there. And then they outright, like... oh yeah, as a matter of fact, Porygon is more difficult to capture in most of the Pokemon games released nowadays. I actually did get to battle against... I actually did get to see a lot of people using Porygon while I was playing Pokemon X Online. It's actually a pretty good... Actually, a pretty viable Pokemon to use in battle. Okay. Okay. Alright, there we go. I had to speed it up. Seriously, it just changed it. Playing a Game Boy game with a PlayStation 3 controller just changes the feel of it completely. Alright, so we're going to move our unit here, and oh no, I should have moved the healer. Alright, hold on, we're going to move him there. Alright. Han Solo is going to move there. Tao is going to move there. There we go. I had to speed up some of the animation. Oh, great. I'm trying to have something come to mind, because... oh, man. This commentary just feels so empty now. I killed it. Ran out of thoughts. Alright, you guys know how I'm a huge fan of the Shin Megami Tensei franchise. I'm still saving up to get, what was it called? Actually, hold on. Before I get Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, I'm going to get, Shin Megami Tensei Double Summoner, Soul Hackers. It's a pretty good game from what I heard. When I read about it, when I read an article about it, I read that they used, the graphics from the, which version of it? They used graphics from the PlayStation 2 version, I believe. So I guess you could consider it a remake. The thing is, I don't think it was... Actually, I think it was released here. I don't know. But yeah, Shin Megami Tensei has had some kind of weird history in the US. As a matter of fact, it actually had a... the Shin Megami Tensei franchise had a sub-series, directed toward children. I forgot the name of it. But I know in the Japanese version of the game, it was called Devil Children, and they obviously had to rename that because well, if you're selling a game that's rated E for everyone named Devil Children, some parents might not take kindly to that, and oh man, the how funny enough, Devil Children is also on the Game Boy Advance, so I'm also going to take a look at that game once I'm done here. Alright. Alright, what's next? Oh, man, why did I do that? Okay, we're gonna move Tao over here. I'm also planning on doing a Let's Play of either Golden... Oh my god! Don't worry, guys. He can come back. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm also planning on doing a Let's Play of Golden Sun and Shining Force, which is the game you're seeing on screen. Why am I healing him? But yeah, Golden Sun it's a pretty awesome game, especially with how it pushed the Game Boy Advance's graphics card to the limit. I mean, like the graphics were in some kind of a 3D texture. You'll have to see the. Actually, no, the battle screen was in some sort of like 3D kind of graphic style. It really pushed the limit of the Game Boy Advance. As a matter of fact, another game that I can think of that pushed the limit of the Game Boy Advance would be I forgot the name of it, but it had actual voice acting in it, and it really pushed the limits of the sound card. Mainly because since the Game Boy Advance was like a portable console that didn't have like a strong enough sound card, it could. Oh my god, we're doing this in one take, okay? But it probably couldn't stress like really crazy sounds, like sounds that you would probably hear on a 3DS. The DS actually improved upon the Game Boy Advance when it came to sound and graphics. One good example I can name of this would be Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, with the 3D graphics used on the battle screen and with the instrumental music being more clear. So yeah, gotta give them credit for that. Alright. Wow, 4 damage. Wow. We've been doing this for 16 turns. Oh man. I guess now would be a good time to cut this video. I hope you enjoyed this little commentary I had here. And yeah, I'm using oh god. Yeah, so I'm using my PlayStation 3 controller just to do all this. I'm not even lying. Here it is if you want to see. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed everything. Make sure to leave a like and let me know what you thought of in this video in the comments.